be learning how to do multiplication in number bases other than base 10. And this is the very first sum we have here, 256 base 8 multiplied by 23 base 8. Before we go into this sum, let's just remind ourselves of how we do multiplication in normal base 10. So if we have 256 multiplied by 23 in base 10, of course, this time around. So what we do is essentially 3 times 6 is 18. So we write our 8 here. We take our 1 up here. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. So that's 6. Take our 1 up here. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, 7. No issues. And then for the second number here, we start writing our numbers directly beneath it. And 2 times 6 is 12. That's 2 here. We take our 1 up here. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1. That's 11. 1. Take our 1 up here. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1. That's 5. So that's this. And then we add up everything. Now, here is 8. Here is 8. Here is 8 as well. And this is 5. So 256 multiplied by 23 in base 10 is 588. Easy peasy. Now we're going to be doing the same thing when we're multiplying in other bases as well, such as the one we're going to be doing now in base 8. The only difference in this case is that we would have to write our answers down in base 8 most of the time before we take into consideration our results. Now, if we start doing this, 256 multiplied by 23, both in base 8. Okay, so we start from this. 3 times 6 is 18. However, we can't write down 18 because we're operating in base 8. Now, let's just quickly go through something before. If you had watched my first video on understanding number bases, you wouldn't know that if we write down 18 as an example, 18 literally means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2 in base 8. So that's 2 bunches of 8 and 2 units. So 18 in base 8 is equal to 2, 2 in base 8. Now I had to explain this because we're going to be doing, instead of going through the cumbersome way that we had learned in the last video of converting from one base to another, we would quickly, converting from base 10 to other bases, we'll be doing this a lot in other sums as well. So when I say 18 means 2 bunches of 8 and 2, you understand this is what I mean. I hope you understand that because we're going to be doing a lot of this. Now, let's go forward. So, 3 times 6, 18. Now, 18 in base 8 is 2, 2, as I just explained. So that right on our 2 here, we take up our 2 here. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2 is 17. 17 in base 8 is 2 bunches of 8 and 1. So that's 1 here. We're at our 2 here. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2, that's 8. 8 cannot be written down in base 8. So 8 essentially in base 8 is 1 and 0. 1 bunch of 8, no units. So that is 1, 0. Now we move to the next one, which is 3 times, that's this 2. 2 times 6, that's 12. 12 in base 8 is essentially 1 bunch of 8 and then 4 units. 12 minus 8 is 4. So 1 bunch of 8 and 4 units. So we write our 4 here and we'll move our 1 here. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1, 11. 11 in base 8 is 1 bunch of 8 and 3 units. So write our 3 here and move our 1 right here. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 in base 8 is just 5. Nothing. So we add up our answers. This is 2. This is 5. This is 3. And this is 6 in base 8. If you want to do a quick check, you would know that this is 174 in base 10. This is 19 in base 10. And that will give you an answer of 3,306 in base 10. So that's how you do that. If we quickly do If we do that again, 3 times 3 is 18. 18 is 2 base 8. So we take our 2 here and we bring down our 2 in tens places here. 3 times 5 is 15 plus that 2. That makes it 17. 17 is 2, 1 in base 8. We write on our unit 1 here and we take our 2 up here. 3 times 2 is 6 plus that's 2. That's 8. We can't write down 8 because we're working in base 8. Don't forget that. So 8 is equal to 10 in base 8. We write down our 10 because there's no other value in front to carry anything over to. We go to the next one, which is our 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 in base 8 is one bunch of 8 and 4. We write our unit 4 here. We take our 1 over here. 2 times 5 is 10 plus that 1 is 11. 11 in base 8 is one bunch of 8 and 3. So we write our unit 3 here. We carry our 1 right here. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1, 5. No issues. There's no need to split that because 5 is well within the figures used in base 8. We write down our 5. And then we add all that up as we usually do in number bases. We didn't have any of those here because all the numbers were within 8. If we had had a 9, for example, we would have done our addition in base 8, not like we normally do. And that's that. So we move on to the next one. The next one is 4, 3, 2, 3 in base 5 multiplied by 3, 4, 2 in base 5 as well. So 4, 3, 2, 3 base 5 multiplied by 3, 4, 2 base 5. So we start. First one, 2 multiplied by 3, that's 6. We're operating in base 5, don't forget. So 6 in base 5. When I write a number without a subscript, that's base 10. So 6 in base 5 is one bunch of 5 and 1 unit. 6 in base 5 is one bunch of 5 and 1 unit. So write down our 1, carry the 1 over here. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1, that's 5. 5 in base 5 is equal to one bunch of 5, no units. So that's 0 right here, 1 right here. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, that's 7. 7 in base 5 is one bunch of 5, 2 units. And so write our 2 right here, move our 1 right here. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 in base 5 is one bunch of 5 and 4 units. So we write our 14 like that because there's nothing to carry over to. There's no figure in front to carry over to. Now the next one. The next one is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 in base 5 is 2 bunches of 5 and 2 units. Base 5. 12, 2 bunches of 5 makes it 10. There's remaining 2 units. We put that 2 units here. So that's 2. We carry out 2 right here. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2. That's 10. 10 in base 5 is 2 bunches of 5, no units. So we write our 0 down here. We move our 2 down here. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2. That's 14. 14 in base 5 is 2 bunches of 5 and 4 units. That's 5. So we write our 4 down here. I move our 2 down here. Up here, rather. So 4 times 4 is 16 plus 2. That's 18. 18 in base 5 is 3 bunches of 5 and 3 units. 18, 3 bunches of 5, that's 15 plus 3, that makes it 18. So we write our 3, 3, 4, 0, 1. Did I make a mistake? No, I think I'm good. Okay, so the next one is 3. 3 times 3, that's 9. 9 in base 5, we already had that here. That's 1, 4 in base 5. So we write our 4 down here. We move our 1 here. 3 times 2, that's 6 plus 1, 7. 7 in base 5 is 1, 2 base 5. So 2, move our 1 right here. 3 times 3, that's 9 plus 1, 10. 10 in base 5. We already have it here, is 2, 0. So we write our 0 here, we move our 2 here. 3 times 4, that's 12 plus 2, 14. 14 in base 5, we already have it right here. That's 2 and 4, and we write that out since we have nothing else to move. 2 and 4. So now we're going to be doing our addition like we learned how to in base 5. 1 comes down here as 1. 0 plus 2 is 2, no issues. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 in base 5 is 1 and 1. So we write down our units 1. We move our 1 right here. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 4 is 9. Plus 2, that's 11. 11 in base 5 is 2 bunches of 5 and 1 unit. And so we write our 1 right here and carry out 2 right here. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 3 is 6. 6 in base 5 is 1 bunch of 5 and 1 unit. So we move our 1 right here. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. 8, we don't have it right here yet, but 8 in base 5 is 1 bunch of 5 and 3 units. So we move our 3 and we carry our 1 right here. 1 plus 3 is 3. So this is our answer in base 5. So 4, 3, 2, 3 base 5 multiplied by 3, 4, 2 in base 5 is equal to 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1 in base 5. Now, just for your confirmation, if you convert this to base 10, you find out this is 588. You find out this is 97. And this in base 10 is 57,036. Yep. So you can do that confirmation just to be sure that you've understood how to do that. Yeah, you know already. We're going to be doing one more just so that we get it understood properly. So that's 3, 6, 3, 4, 6 in base 7 multiplied by 5, 3, 5. I'm guessing that the roots, the key to doing this multiplication quick and easily is to be able to quickly convert from 10 to other bases without having to go through the long divisions you have to do. Just follow me as I do it, and that's why I'm going to be doing it every time, so that by the time we're through with this video, you'll be able to do that quickly and be able to respond to these questions, on the go. So we're going to be doing the same thing here. We'll start with 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Now 30 in base 7 is what? How many 7s are there in 30? You know that we have 4 7s in 30, and that makes it 28. Now 30 minus 28 is a remainder of 2. So 4 7s, 4 bunches of 7, and a remainder of 2 in base 7. So we write our 2 right here. We'll move our 4 here. Now 5 times 4 is 20 plus 24. 24 in base 7. Here we have 3 7s there. That's 21. If you take that out of 24, that gives you with 3 units remaining. So 33. So 3 right here. We move our 3 over here. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3, that's 18. Now 18 in base 7 is 2. 18 has 2 7s in it, that's 14, and a remainder of 4 in base 7. So we're at 4 right here. Move our 2 over here. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 2, that's 32. In base 7, the same thing, 4 7s, that's 28 plus 4 units in base 7. So that leaves us with 44. Yep. Now, the next one, 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 in base 7, we already have it right here, so that's 24. We move our 2 over here. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2, that's 14. 14 in base 7 is 2 bunches of 7 and no units. So we write our 0 and we move our 2 right here. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 in base 7 is 1 bunch of 7 and 4 units. So we write our 4 and we move our 1 over here. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1. That's 19. 19 in base 7 is 2 bunches of 7 and 5 units. And so we write that out, 25. That's it. I really hope you're following the way I'm doing my conversions before I write out my answers, because that is the key to solving those problems accurately and, with speed as well. So we go to the next one, which is 5. 5 times 3 is 5 times 6 rather is 30. We don't have to do this, but because we already have that here, we could simply just write out this. But I'll just do it so it's a form of practice for us. So 5 times 6 is 30. 30 we already have here is 4 bunches of 7, which is 28, and then there's a remainder of 2, so 2 units, 4, 2. So we add our 2 right here, and we move our 4 right here. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 4, that's 24. 24 in base 7 is 3 sevens, which is 21, 3 bunches of 7 and 3 remainders. So that's 3. We move our 3 right here. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3 is 18. 18 in 27 is 2 bunches of 7, which is 14, and the remainder of 4, which is what we have here. And so we add our 4 and we move our 2 right here. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 2, 32. 32 is 4 bunches of 7, which gives you 28, and you have a remainder of 4, which gives you 44 in base 7. And so we're going to be doing our addition in base 7 to get our final answer. So if we add this, that's 2, no issues at all. 3 plus 4 is 7. We can't write down 7 because we're in base 7. So 7 in base 7 is 1 bunch of 7 and no units. So that's 0. We move our 1 right here. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2, 7. Again, we can write down 7. So we do the same thing, 1 bunch of 7 and no units. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12. 12 in base 7 is 1 bunch of 7 and 5 units. Oh, I forgot that. So that's 5. And we move our 1 right here. 1 plus 4, 5. 5 plus 5 is 10, 14. 14 in base 7, we already have it right here, is 2 bunches of 7 and no units. So that's 0 here and 2 right here. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 in base 7 is 1 bunch of 7 and 1 units. So that's 1, 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. In base 7, we don't have an issue with that, so we write down our answer, and that is what we have as our answer in base 7. 5105002 in base 7. If you want to do your confirmation, you can convert this to base 10, and that's 2239. This is 271, and our final answer is 606,769. Yeah, base 10. So that's how you do multiplication in other bases than 10. Write out your numbers, follow the exact rules that like we do when we're doing our multiplication in base 10, but then every number, every answer you get has to be converted to the base you're operating in before you do your additions and get your final answer. Now we're moving on to a much difficult thing. Of all the arithmetic problems, I think division is probably the most difficult, although it's not as difficult as I make it sound. But let's just go through it together, and hopefully by the time we're done, you will be able to do division arithmetic without any problem, hopefully. Now, just like we did for the multiplication, let's just go through how we do let's just remind ourselves of how we do division in base 10 before we dive into this problem. Now, if we're given, let's say 4, 6, 6, 5, and we're requested to divide it by 5. Now what we do is we go for the first digit. Here it's 4. We usually write a 0, but it's a preceding 0, so it's a leading 0. Doesn't have any consequence, so we might as well leave it out. Now we go to the next one, which is 46. How many times can we get 5 in 46? That's 9 times. So right now, 9 right here. 9 times 5 is 45. And then we do our subtraction. 46 minus 45 is 1. We carry down the next number, which is 6. 16 divided by 5 is 3. So we add our 3 here. 3 times 5 is 15. We do our subtraction again, just so that we don't confuse that. That's a 1. Bring out the next number, which is 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3. That's 15, and then we have a 0, and that's how we do that. I'm hoping that you already know this, but I just wanted to remind you so that we know that the exact same rules are what we're going to be applying when we're doing division in other bases as well. The same thing, just like the multiplication, is that we tend to convert all our numbers into into base 5 or the base we're operating in before we go ahead. Okay, excuse me, I'm trying to erase this so I can have space for my... Okay, so let's go. In this case, we write down our figures just like we would normally, and we divide that by 4 in base 5. Okay, now in this case, a very fast way or an accurate way to do this would be to write down the multiplication table of 4 in base 5. So if we do that, that would really help us, and you would see why. So 4 times 0 is equal to 0. 4 times 1 in base 5 is equal to 4. 4 times 2 in base 5 is 8 normally, but in base 5, that's going to be one bunch of 5 and 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 is 2 bunches of 5 and 2. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. 16 in base 5 is 3 bunches of 5 and 1. We don't have 4 times 5, so this is where the multiplication table of 4 ends in base 5, because 5 does not exist in base 5. Now, let's go ahead and do our sum. Now, 4 divided by 4, we know that to be 1, and we can see that here. Let's just assume that we don't know, but we can come here, look for the lowest number that's equals to 4. The lowest number before 4 in our multiplication table. Or if we have 4, we take 4. And then we write out this number. And so that's 1. So we know that our answer is 4 in this case. We do the same thing. 4 minus 4 is 0. We bring down the next number, which is 3. 3 divided by 4 in this case is 0. So we bring down the next number, which is 2, 32. So we go here, we look for the lowest number or the nearest number to 32, and that's 31. 31 is what we have here, so we write down our 31. And how many times multiplied by 4 did we get 31? That's 4. So we write down our 4 here as our answer. We do our subtraction like we would normally, which is 1. Bring down our next number, which is 3. We go here and look for the nearest number to 13 or 13 in base 5, and that's here, 13, 13. So we write down our 13, and we know that we need to multiply 4 by 2 to get that. So that's 2 right here, and 13 minus 13 is 0, and that's the end of our division. So the answer to this question is 1042 in base 5. Let's go over that once more so that we get it. When you have this kind of sum to deal with, write down your multiplication table, the multiplication table of 4 in base 5. So that helps you to quickly solve the sum. And then you tackle it like you would a number in base 10. So 4 divided by 4, that's 1, as we can see here. And that gives us the answer of 1 here. We know that that's 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. We bring down the next number, which is 3. 3 divided by 4 is 0. So we write our 0 here. We bring down the next number, which is 32. Now you look at the highest number. I was making a mistake before. I said the lowest. The highest number before you get to the sum you're looking for. And the highest number here before you get to 32 is 31. And we know that we have to multiply 4 by 4 in base 5 to get 31. So we write our 31, which is the answer. And then we write, which is the highest number. We write our answer 4 right here. 32 minus 31 is 1. We bring down the next number, which is 3. 13. We go to the multiplication table. We look for the highest number close to 13, or if we have 13 itself, like we do in this case, we pick out 13. 13 right here. We have to multiply 4 by 2. So we write our 2 here to get 13 in base 5. 13 minus 13 is 0. That's the end of the division. I hope you got that, but don't worry if you did not. We still have some examples to go through. So we go same thing, 7, 6, 4, 2. We're dividing this by 6. In base 8, don't forget, never forget the base you're operating in. It's very essential. Always remember. So, what do? We write down our multiplication table for 6 in base 8. So, we go 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 1, 6. No issue. Base 8. 6 times 2 in base 8, 12. Is going to be one bunch of 8 and 4 units. In base 8, 6 times 3, which is 18, would be 2 bunches of 8, which makes 16, and 2 units. 6 times 4 is 24. That's 3 bunches of 8, no units. 6 times 5 is 30, yeah. 30 is 3 bunches of 8. That's 24 and 6 units. 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 is 4 units of 8, which makes 32 and 4 units. 4 bunches of 8 and 4 units. 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. 42 in base 8 is 5 units of 8, which is 40 and 2 units. 5 bunches of 8 and 2 units. So that's 52. So now that we have that written out, it makes our division very easy. So we go here, 7 divided by 6. We come here, the highest number before we get to 7 is 6. We have to divide 6 by 1 to get that. So we write our 6 right here. We write our answer 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. We bring down the next number, 16. We go here. 16 divided by 6. We go here. The highest number before we get to 16 is 14. So we write down our 14 here. And we have to multiply 6 by 2 to get that. So we write our 2 as the answer right here. 16 minus 2, or 6 minus 2 is 6 minus 4 rather is 2. We don't need that. So we bring down the next number, which is 4. We go here. The highest number we get to 24 is 22. So we write that down. 2. Now we have to multiply 6 by 3 to get 22, so that's 3 right here, and the subtraction here yields 2. Bring down the next number, which is 2. We have our 22 right here, and we can write 22. This gives us 0. Don't forget your answer is 3. And so the answer to this sum is 1, 2, 3. 3 in base 8. And that's how you solve that. Let's do one more in the units case before we go to something a little bit more complex. So 3, 4, 1. Forget not in base 5. So write our multiplication table for 3 in base 5. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3, no issues. 3 times 2, that's 6, but in base 5, that will be one bunch of 5 and 1 unit. 3 times 3 is 9, that's one bunch of 5 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 is 2 bunches of 5 and 2. And that's where it ends, essentially, because we cannot have 5 in base 5. So we go here, 3 divided by 3, that's 1. We know that, and that yields 3. So this is 0. We bring on the next one, which is 4. 4 divided by 3. Highest number we'll get to 4 here is 3. We write that down, and we know we have to multiply 3 by 1 to get to that point. We do our subtraction as 1. We bring down the next number is 14. We have 14 right here, so we write down 14. And we have to multiply 3 by 3 to get to 14, so that's 3 here. This is 0. We bring down the next number, which is 1. 1 divided by 3 is not possible. We don't have any other thing to bring down, so this is going to be 0 right here. And because there's nowhere else to go here, we have a remainder of 1. Now, this essentially is, the answer to this is 1130 with a remainder of 1. I brought this example up to just show you that it's also possible to have remainders in other number bases, and this is how you handle it. There's no big deal about it. Just write the remainder when there's no more division possible, and that's the answer. You can move on from there, which is 76537 base 8 divided by 43 in base 8. Okay, so you get the idea of how the multiplication table is written down. So I skipped up to the end of the multiplication table, and this is what we have. So let's go ahead with our division. 7, 6, 5, 3, 7. We have our 4, 3 here, both in base 8. Please ignore the noise in the background. So we go. 7 divided by 43 is not possible. 0. We don't need to write that. So 76 divided by 43. We go here, we look for the highest number before we get to 76, and like we did in previous questions. So here it's 43. So we come here, write down our 43, and we have to multiply 43 just by 1 to get the answer. So 1. This is 3. 7 minus 4 is also 3. We bring down the next number, which is 5. The highest number before we get to 335 in our lineup here is 322, and we have to multiply 43 by 6 to get there. So we write down 322. Our 6 is right here. We do our multiplication, our subtraction. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. And that's 0. We bring down the next number, which is 3. So the highest number before we get to 3 is 106 right here. So we write down 106, and we have to multiply 43 by 2 to get 106. So that's 2 is our answer right here. And we do our subtraction. 3 minus 6 is not possible, so we come here. There's a remainder of 2 here. We borrow that 1. You remember our subtraction in other bases. So when we borrow 1 from here, because we're operating in base 8, we're actually taking 8. So 8 plus 3, in this case, is going to be 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. 2 is 0, so 25. So we bring down the last number here, which is 257. Here we can actually find 257. So we can write down our 257, 257. If that's to be said correctly. And we had to multiply 43 by 5 to get 257. So our number in this case is, our answer is 1625 in base 8.